Ooby-doo, it's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast, and today we're actually going to look at a vintage lens, which is the KIRON 28mm f2. Wow, that's an impressive piece of glass. I heard of KIRON back in the day. They were like a third string lens company. I mean, they weren't a big name. They weren't like Pentax, Nikon, or Canon. They were some of the other guys like Tokina. I read reviews of KIRON, but I don't remember them being outstanding or anything. My favorite vintage lens dealer had this bad boy available in excellent plus condition, and I went for it because I have a couple of 28 2.8s from the big guys like Canon and Pentax, and they're nice lenses. They're really nice lenses, but they're 2.8. I bought this lens and I didn't get a chance to check it, and now maybe 2 months later I'm finally getting around to checking it, and it's on the SONY A6000, and these are really nice cameras. I mean, this one has a built-in electronic viewfinder, and I got that cheap. They're still available as old new stock, but I got it for like 55% off. So I thought it was a good deal. It's a Nikon mount lens, but they come in I'm sure they come in Canon mount, and they come in Pentax K mount. But this is Nikon, and I got the Nikon Nex adapter. Since it's a dumb lens, I don't need a smarter adapter either. Goes from f2 with half click stops all the way to f16. Has a depth of field scale. Has an infrared mark too. It comes in white in meters and blue in feet. Still has the past JCIC sticker on it. It has Nikon AI, that's what that means. Kino Precision, Japan, serial number 55mm diameter filters. So I went to the park a couple days after Christmas. I'm off this week. Have some vacation time I want to use up. Have 3 days, get you 10 days. That's a deal, right? So it was cloudy today. Cloudy, heavy overcast. So I was using 1600, and then I went to 800, and I was 4, 5.6, 8, 11, and then 16, depending. And I did take a couple of shots at f2 to see how it performed wide open. And I could tell you, this is a great lens. A really nice lens. Has excellent optical characteristics. It looks sharp. Oh, that's another thing. When you focus it, you can actually tell when it's snapped into focus. Like some lenses, when you go to turn it, it's like it's hard to tell where focus was, but this thing snapped right in. Now, it was overcast day, which means everything was low contrast, and I like to take pictures of mulberry berries because they're bright red and everything else is brown and graying. I noticed, geez, they look pretty nice when I went to the magnifier mode, and I said, these are going to look like great pictures. In fact, we could look at one, I guess. No. Here we go. Taking pictures of fog is the hardest thing to do, I think. Oh, there's going to be some movies appended today, and short movies, no loud noises really. The stream was gurgling, but it wasn't super loud. So here's some berries, mulberries. This lens performed better. Of course, it's a prime lens, of course, but performed better than, say, this piece of crap, the Nikkor 18-300mm. But that's a story in and of itself. So this is a nice lens if you can get it cheap. Now 28mm f2, they carry a premium, yeah, especially like a Canon or a Pentax or a Nikon. They're a big box. But I think this is under $200, and so I went for it because I don't have any 28mm f2s, and I want to use it for astronomy at night to see what that's all about. So it's an excellent build, old school condition. Oh, this looks like it's never been used. I mean, really. I mean, it was clean and it takes really good pictures. So there's not much to say about that. So let's jump right into the pictures, shall we? Fog is one of the hardest things to take pictures of, I think. I keep doing it. So I live by this park. It's 10 minutes away. You can't beat it for having to live next to a park. At certain times of day, there's almost no one there, so that's great. If you like solitude, this lens is fantastic. It's reasonably affordable compared to name brands. It has excellent build quality, and optically it's fine. I was very pleased with it. You can't beat it. Of course, this was a low contrast day. It was sort of tending towards heavy overcast. So of course I was shooting at 1600. 1/200th of a second, ISO 800, ISO 1600. And you could really see what a lens could do under these low contrast conditions. I mean, if the sun was out, everything would be sharp and harsh, and there'd be dark shadows and bright highlights. And here, everything's like the same level. And it was warm and wet. I think I had an umbrella with me. Yes, I had an umbrella with me. I mean, it was drizzly, off and on drizzly. And the lens really performed. Forget modern lenses. I mean, if you have a mirrorless camera and you can either do focus peaking, which I hate, I just do the magnifier, the manual focusing magnifier, and then I get the focus I want. Sure, sometimes I screw up and I get the wrong focus. I had AF lenses that screwed up more than me. And then at least I'm assured that I get a lot of hits. Maybe I have 80%, manual focus, without a doubt. And if you have a lens that's really well corrected, you can see when it snaps into focus, even when you're stopped down. And that's a big plus. So I could highly recommend the KIRON 28mm f2. Add it to your arsenal of lens. You won't be disappointed. And it comes in different mounts. I have the Nikon mount, but they're available in the FD mount. They're available in the Pentax K. Who knows? Maybe you're in an M42 mount also. I mean, it's from that era from a long time ago. And they're so cheap and affordable, in excellent condition. The model I have looks like it was brand new. Brand new, never used. Whoever had it must have took really good care of it. Or maybe people use a lens that they don't know how to use it and it just sits around. If you want to go cheap and you want to get an excellent lens, this KIRON is great. It's a great lens. It had a build quality that looked like the 35 to 70 millimeter of 3.5 Tokina I had, because it had white meters and blue feet markings. And that's the finish. It looked the same. So I wonder if Tokina made stuff for KIRON or KIRON made stuff for Tokina. I don't know how it worked out, but just the design looked the same. At any rate, both lenses are excellent. I got a lot of rain, and this creek here is sometimes bone dry. And then when it's a raging white water like this, it's rare, maybe once a year for a couple of weeks, or maybe years go by before it gets swollen like this. I mean, I've seen it even more raging than this. And then as they get normal weather and normal rain, the water level drops down to almost nothing. And we had a bumper crop of mulberries this year. They say the deer eat the mulberries, and I noticed the mulberries are disappearing. I guess they must fall off naturally, and then they grow more mulberry plants, but the animals do eat them. I think they were brought to this country for silkworms. Mulberry leaves are fed to the silkworms. In Paterson, New Jersey, they had silk factories where they made silk. And ancient astronauts built all this stuff. Human beings had nothing to do with it. Look around at your fellow human beings and you'll know, they had nothing to do with this. And there's water droplets all over. And a lot of these were, you know, like here's a 1-to-1 crop. A 1-to-1 crop. Excellent. Now, I had to be like maybe 4 or 5 feet away. And I noticed that the water, the fog, brings out the, depth. Absolutely. Now, I took some pictures of some movies of the raging stream. It wasn't as raging as it was a couple days ago, but you may want to tone down your volume in about 10 seconds. I have a message posted, and you'll know when to turn your volume down. But the bottom dollar is a great lens. You should get one. Highly recommend it. Now is the time to turn your volume down.